Well, welcome back to the channel, guys, and I've got a really nice short little video today for you, all about the Preston Innovations hook range. Now, obviously I'm like looking at the comments on the Preston Innovations YouTube channel, Facebook page, my Facebook and YouTube, and one of the common questions that I get asked over and over again, or we get asked, should I say, is how do I identify the different hook patterns? What do these letters mean at the top of the hook patterns? Because we've got GPM, XSH, KKH, KKM. It all could be a little bit confusing, but it's not when I explain it. It's quite a simple system. So firstly, let's just talk a little bit about the hooks. They're absolutely amazing quality, made in Japan, which is a big one. All the best hooks get made in Japan. There's a handful of manufacturers that do it beautifully. Our hooks are PTFE coated as well, so they stay razor sharp. They've obviously got that lovely dull sort of like black colour, so there's no glint in the water. If it bugs you that there's a bit of a glint on your hook, then these don't have that because they're PTFE coated. But the key point is that the points are razor sharp, they stay sharp, and the hooks are incredibly durable and strong. They use really good materials. But anyway, onto the actual hooks themselves and the naming. Right, the first one that we need to talk about is the final letter. So GPM, we've got XSH and SFL. So the third letter in the coding sort of denotes the strength of the wire. So SFL is silverfish light. So the L stands for light. GPM is general purpose medium. So a medium gauge wire. And then the XSH, for example, is extra strong, but the H stands for heavy, obviously. So hopefully that makes it really simple. If you need a light hook, then you go for the SFL, L for light. Need the medium, GPM, general purpose medium, and likewise XSH, extra strong heavy. So hopefully that makes it easier. If you're looking, what sort of hook you need. If you need a strong hook and you need the heavy range, a general purpose sort of hook, then the medium, and then obviously you need a winter hook for when things get a bit tougher, then obviously the SFL, the light hook. So hopefully that makes it is a simple setup. But the actual codings themselves, like I say, so XSH, extra strong. So this is a hook I've been using all summer for my pace fishing. I absolutely love it. It's never straightened out once. I've caught some real big weights on this hook. I use it in a 10 and a 12 for my pace fishing, and then like a 14 for fishing with baits like corn, segments of worm, a little bunch of maggots. It's just a brilliant hook. It's a beautiful wide gape. Lovely sort of swept in point that goes off center a little bit. I love that, how they just goes in a little bit. I'm sure it helps hold the hook in place, and it's super strong, and like I say, it just never lets me down. Available in pre-tied too, so if you want, if you can't be bothered to tie them, I've shown you before how to tie spade end hooks, but if you don't like doing it or you can't do it, then pre-tied. But XSH, absolutely awesome hook for sledging them in the summer. That is the hook, trust me. But it's not an absolute brute of a hook. Okay, so if you need a hook that's just going to do you for anything, any time of year really, on a commercial fishery, where you just need a hook that you could just use for all kinds of fishing, whether it's skimmer fishing, F1 fishing, big carp fishing, then the GPM is that hook. It's that traditional sort of, I say traditional, but the common sort of commercial fishery pattern, that sort of wide gape with a swept in point. You can just use any bait on it. Any bait at all will go nicely on a GPM. It's available in spade and eyed, so it's an absolutely brilliant hair rigging hook for for pole fishing, little bait band, lasso, quick stop, that kind of thing. It's a straight eye on it though, but obviously we're famed for the outturned eye. I'll talk about that later. But the straight eye on this is just perfect for pole fishing, F1 fishing. When it's on the line and you tighten the hair rig, it kicks in, and I'm sure that helps hooking the fish. When pole fishing. So GPM. Des Ship's absolute favourite hook. It's just awesome. It just works. You'll never straighten one out. They're just brilliant. Just a really, really good hook, and they're so durable. The point just stays. Brilliant hook. Available in loads of sizes too. Moving swiftly on, a little favourite of mine. The old SFLB, silverfish light. But I feel like the silverfish tag does it a bit of a disservice, because if anything, it's a superb winter, spring carp hook, a brilliant F1 hook for year-round F1 fishing really, but obviously it is also a great silverfish hook as well. Obviously I do a lot of feeder fishing for skimmers throughout the winter, and I use this in a 16 or an 18 exclusively these days. It's just a brilliant hook. I like it because it's actually got quite a tight gape. so it's like a modern take on a crystal bend maggot pattern, if you like. It sort of comes back in, but obviously you can fish pellets with it as well. But it has got a bit of a longer shank. I just love it. It's just a perfect combination for me, the SFL. I love it. A really good hook. But yeah, Silverfish light. Obviously the L denotes light. Moving on to our, in fact I'll leave them till last. We've then got the MCM, which is method, circle, medium. So if you are looking at a circle hook, then the MCM is just an awesome hook. Again, it's a Japanese hook with the PTFE technology, the coating in there. And one thing that we've done that's a little bit different is go right down to a size 8. So if you are a guy who uses a 10mm or even a 12mm wafter, places like Boddington and stuff like that, where you are looking to catch big fish now, then a size 8 and a size 10 MCM will be, you know, well worth looking at. I don't really need to talk about circle hooks much. They're very popular for method fishing, and that's a really good one. Then we've got the KKM and the KKH. Now the KKM has been available for a couple of years now. It was the first hook we launched in the PTFE range. It's an evolution of our famous PR36 pattern, which is probably over a decade old now. It's got to be 12, 13, 14 years old. That famous wide gape, straight, lovely, like a longish shank and then an outturned eye. It's just it was the hair rigging hook. It still is. If you fish in just any sort of hair rigging on the pole or on the feeder, where you don't want to use a circle hook, because let's be honest, those sort of circle patterns are great, but I think they're more suited to big fish. Whereas I think that the KKM shape and style of hook is better suited to sort of match size carp. You sort of 2 to 10 pound carp. I think that when they've got smaller mouths, I think that sort of hook's better. The KKM is sort of obviously it's a medium gauge wire. The KKM. So KK knotless knot. So knotless knot, medium barbless. And it's just a wonderful hook. One thing that people are surprised about is they look at it and they don't think it's very strong. Well, the video I did on the Preston Festival many years ago, when I caught those great big carp, I actually used one of these in a 14 that day. And bearing in mind I only had braid on my rod, I didn't have mono. So that just shows you how strong these were. And I landed fish to over 20 pound that day. So they're deceptively strong. And to be honest, I don't use them above a 14. I use a 14, a 16 and 18 in these. The 18 is just a brilliant sort of F1 sort of maggot method feeder hook. So if I'm going to Packington Summers, Lindome, and I want to fish a single maggot, which I often do, then an 18 in one of these is just a great hook. A lot of people didn't think they were strong enough, so we did the KKH. Now that's knotless, not heavy, and in first impressions it doesn't look that much stronger, but it is. It's a forged pattern, this is, and it's just really strong. I've been using this at like makings in the summer in a 16 and an 18 for pellet waggler fishing. The video I did on the Match Fishing Masterclass channel with Ricky Richards, and I was hooking him on the pellet waggler and really having to, give him side strain to get him away from this floating snag that there was. This hook never let me down. It's never let me down all summer. Exactly the same shape as the KKM, but obviously a stronger gauge. We also do this in a barb, so if you are looking for like a barbel hook, or if you just need like a hair rigging hook for bream fishing, that kind of thing, then the KKH barbed is a great option. So hopefully that little rundown of the range just makes a bit more sense of it. If you do walk into a tackle shop and you're just looking for a pellet hook, you're not gonna, it's not immediately obvious, but hopefully that little rundown there will just clear that up for you, make it a bit simpler. But yeah, great range of hooks from Preston Innovations, and one that I just use exclusively now. Absolutely brilliant, and we'll see you again next time.